gonna call Ghostbusters! What's going on, guys? It's your boy Leo Rydell, and if you're new to the channel, this is Geekly Goods, where we talk the latest in movies, TV, with a little sprinkle of anime in there as well. Today, I'm here to review Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I was pretty impressed, y'all. But let's get right into it, starting out with, what is Ghostbusters Afterlife about? When a single mother and her two children move to a new town, they soon discover they have a connection to the original Ghostbusters and the secret legacy their grandfather left behind. This movie stars McKenna Grace as Phoebe, Finn Wolfhard as Trevor, Carrie Coon as Kaylee, Logan Kim as Podcast, Celeste O'Connor as Lucky, and Paul Rudd as Gary Gruberson. All right, guys, so look, I'm not the biggest super fan of Ghostbusters, but I have seen the 1984 numerous times. It's been a little while since I visited it, but it's still a great movie. It lives up. The second one, I don't really like as much, and I'm not a big fan of the 2016, but they're okay movies. I think this is the best since the first Ghostbusters. Just want to start and preface by saying that I did have a good time here, but it's not without its faults, and I think there are some things that may either make big fans really happy or maybe feel a little too much for some fans. But let's dive into this review, guys, starting out with what works, and what is really at the top of my list is McKenna Grace as Phoebe. Look, she has such great, awkward, nerdy, geeky energy in this movie, but she has such a great character arc growing in this film. Her and her family move into the home of their grandfather, and she's kind of this awkward, doesn't really know how to communicate that well. At the same time, she starts growing throughout the movie, and her mother just wishes that she would get into trouble, but McKenna does such a great job transitioning throughout this movie, and she's just so charming and fun to follow, and their adventures are so fun. It feels like we took the Stranger Things kids with their age and plopped them right into Ghostbusters. Just the age, not the actual characters, but just the ages of those kids, and put them in Ghostbusters, and I like that. I like that this almost feels a little Stranger Things-ish. I mean, hey, Finn Wolfhard is in the movie, but we'll get to him a little bit later. But McKenna Grace, she's an absolute knockout in this role. I really want to see her in more, and if they do another Ghostbusters after this, I definitely got to have her back in the movie. She's great. I think that she has the main character energy and the spotlight, the ability to grab that camera. Even with the awkward energy, she does such a great job. So McKenna, I'm looking forward to more roles from you. Another thing that really worked for me is the visuals, guys. Couple of visual updates to the ghosts, the traps, the photon packs, the laser. I like the visual updates and aesthetic of this. It feels believable. There's ghosts flying through the town in the movie. Muncher's one of the ghosts in there. The marshmallow. We see all these cute little marshmallow ghosts too. It's just nice and cool to get these Easter eggs from the original Ghostbusters and have the same ghosts and have the trap and all these cool little Easter eggs. I won't spoil too much, but my big Ghostbusters fans will see it throughout the beginning, middle, and end of the movie. There's just a lot of awesome Easter eggs, and there's a couple cameos, but that's as far as I'm gonna go there. Not gonna say who, not gonna say what. That's as far as I'm gonna go. Also, great direction here. I think that Reitman is perfect for this movie, and I love the score. I think the score it's like a nice update, and it just gives you this mysterious, thrillery feeling. Speaking of thriller, there's some tasteful jump scares in this movie. Like, I guess I didn't really expect to be like nervous in a Ghostbusters movie, but there's a couple jump scares in there that had me a little anxious, y'all. I was like, okay, don't look around the corner now. But it's a pretty good movie, guys, and it's really enjoyable. The ghost busting is super fun. I think that's the best aspect of the movie, and that's what really matters. The ghost busting is what should be the main focus of the movie, and they do a great job of making these sequences fun, making them adrenaline packed, giving us these great visuals, really making characters just earn and work for becoming Ghostbusters. And it's just so cool to have more ghost busting and have it look cool. Not that the 2016 or Ghostbusters 2 didn't, but there's just something about this movie that connects you back to that original film, and the ghost busting as well feels that way too. But let's jump into a couple of issues I had with the film that made me a little hesitant to call it great. So I think one of my most glaring issues for me personally, I know this isn't really an issue across the board, I don't think, but for me personally, I was a little bored outside of the ghost busting. I think that the story moves a little slow toward the beginning. Of course, you gotta set up characters, environments, but I don't know, there was just something a little off for me. And then when it got towards the middle of the film, when they started discovering the ghost busting stuff and they started really investigating, that's when I started getting reeled into it a little bit more. But there are a couple moments that just kind of dawdle outside of that for me that just had me in and out of the film throughout. And then there's a heavy underuse of several characters in the movie, Paul Rudd being one of them, Celeste O'Connor being another. I like both of those actors. Love me some Paul Rudd, love Celeste O'Connor, and I actually really liked her character. So I was a little disappointed that those characters were underused. It was like Paul Rudd would show up and then be gone for a long time, and I just thought it would be nice to have a little more Paul, y'all. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all know you like you some Paul, so let's involve some more Paul in the movie. And then Finn Wolfhard, while I love him as Mike in Stranger Things, and he's had several other roles now that he's getting older, and he's finding his footing in the acting scene, unfortunately, I did not think his character worked this time, and maybe that's due to the writing of the character, but he just kind of stood around in the background to me. I was more interested in Phoebe and Podcast and their adventures, and him, Celeste O'Connor's character and Finn Wolfhard's character had a romance going on, but it just didn't work for me. It felt forced. They didn't really know each other, so I just wasn't really following along with that beat of the movie that well. And Finn Wolfhard's character, like I said, kind of just stood around in the background. His lines were kind of annoying, kind of reminded me of like an annoying older Mike, and I wasn't jiving with his character that much. So a couple things that didn't work, just summarizing again. Unfortunately, the pacing was a problem because I was a little bit bored. Underuse of certain actors, and then Finn Wolfhard's character, just not the best. People are going to say there's a lot of fan service here, but it didn't bother me. I'm just gonna be real with y'all, it didn't bother me. I like me some Ghostbusters. I don't mind a little bit of fan service. So, but you guys let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you gonna check out Ghostbusters Afterlife when it comes out? Drops in theaters on the 19th, guys, exclusively. So let me know if you're gonna go check it out. And also, let me know who you gonna call. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And we will see you next time on Geekly Goods.